Welcome to Space Matrix. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. The South China Sea, a vital artery for global trade, is once again the epicenter of a geopolitical storm. Tensions are escalating as the Philippines stands firm against China, but this is no simple David versus Goliath story. Today we reveal why 10 nations are siding with Beijing, alliances that could tip the scales in the South China Sea. First, let's turn our attention to Russia. Its so-called no-limits partnership with China is rapidly reshaping the global balance of power, forging a new axis that challenges the old order. By openly backing China's ambitions in the South China Sea, Russia is not only challenging US dominance in the region, but also forcing America to stretch its military resources thinner than ever before. Their joint naval drills in East Asia are more than just exercises. They're a clear signal of deepening military cooperation and shared strategic interests. For the Philippines, this new reality means that any conflict with China could now risk drawing in the Russian Navy, raising the stakes and complexity of any potential confrontation. Russia's support for China isn't just about regional influence. It's about building a multipolar world, resisting Western pressure, and asserting its own global relevance. The South China Sea is just one front in their broader worldwide struggle for influence, as both nations seek to challenge Western dominance on multiple fronts. For Moscow, supporting China is about more than just partnership. It's about securing a powerful ally in its ongoing rivalry with the West, and shaping the future of global power. Next, Pakistan, China's all-weather friend. Their alliance is rooted in shared rivalry with India and deep economic ties, especially through the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Pakistan questions international rulings against China, lending diplomatic cover. Economic dependency and strategic interests make Pakistan's support for China almost automatic. Siding with the Philippines would jeopardize vital Chinese investment and military aid. For Islamabad, backing Beijing is a pillar of foreign policy. In North Korea, isolation is a way of life, but even the most secretive nation needs a powerful friend to survive in a hostile world. For decades, China has been North Korea's lifeline and shield, providing vital economic support, food and fuel that keep the regime afloat. Pyongyang's vocal support for China's claims in the South China Sea is more than just diplomacy. It's an extension of its deep-rooted anti-US stance, and a calculated move to please its only major ally. North Korea's backing is mostly rhetorical, echoing Beijing's talking points in state media and official statements. Still, this vocal support helps amplify China's narrative against what both countries see as American hegemony in the region. Beijing's steady flow of aid, food, fuel, and humanitarian supplies ensures the Kim regime's survival, especially during times of crisis or international sanctions. With so much at stake, North Korea has every reason to echo China's position on global issues, reinforcing their strategic partnership. Supporting the Philippines, a close US ally, is unthinkable for Pyongyang, as it would risk angering Beijing and undermining its own security. For North Korea, unwavering loyalty to China is a small price to pay for continued patronage and protection on the world stage. Ultimately, the Kim dynasty's survival, and the future of the Hermit Kingdom, depends on this enduring alliance with its powerful neighbor. Within ASEAN, Cambodia is China's staunchest ally. Billions in Chinese investment have created deep economic dependency. Cambodia blocks ASEAN consensus, paralyzing unified action against China. The Ream Naval Base project hints at growing Chinese military presence. For Cambodia, loyalty to Beijing brings security and economic rewards. Laos, landlocked and underdeveloped, relies heavily on Chinese investment. The China-Laos Railway symbolizes this dependency, plunging Laos into debt. In ASEAN, Laos consistently softens opposition to China, advocating dialogue over confrontation. Economic realities make siding with China a foregone conclusion. Laos's quiet support helps fracture regional unity. Myanmar's military junta, isolated after the 2021 coup, depends on China for survival. China shields Myanmar diplomatically and invests in strategic projects like the China-Myanmar Economic Corridor. In return, Myanmar aligns its foreign policy with Beijing, offering diplomatic support on issues like the South China Sea. This partnership is transactional, protection for allegiance. The junta's dependence on China shapes its stance. Iran, under Western sanctions, sees China as a vital partner in challenging US dominance. Their 25-year strategic agreement covers economic, energy, and military cooperation. Joint naval drills with China and Russia signal a united front. Supporting China in the South China Sea is a way for Iran to reciprocate Beijing's backing in the Persian Gulf. For Tehran, it's about geopolitics and survival, not maritime law. Iran's support reinforces the rise of a new anti-US coalition. In Latin America, Venezuela relies on China for economic lifelines amid US sanctions. In return, Venezuela backs China in international forums, including the South China Sea dispute. For Maduro's government, supporting China is a way to challenge US influence and secure vital aid. This alliance is symbolic, a show of China's reach in America's backyard. Venezuela's support costs little but strengthens ties with Beijing. Zimbabwe's Look East policy has made China its key partner as Western ties soured. Chinese investment in mining and infrastructure props up Zimbabwe's economy and government. In exchange, Zimbabwe backs China on global issues, including the South China Sea. This alliance is pragmatic, investment and protection for diplomatic loyalty. Zimbabwe's support is part of a broader strategic alignment with Beijing. In Europe, Serbia balances EU ambitions with a deep partnership with China. Chinese investment and support on Kosovo cement this alliance. Serbia backs China's territorial claims, seeing parallels with its own disputes. This quid pro quo strengthens both nations' positions against the West. For Serbia, siding with China offers leverage in negotiations with the EU, and US-China gains a strategic foothold in the Balkans. From the power corridors of Russia to the rapidly developing nations of Africa, a new era of global alliances is quietly taking shape. Across Latin America and into the heart of the Balkans, a diverse coalition of countries is emerging, quietly but steadily throwing their support behind China's growing influence. This isn't a formal alliance sealed by treaties, but rather a complex network built on deepening economic ties, infrastructure investments, and a shared resistance to the dominance of US influence in global affairs. The result is a more confident and emboldened Beijing, while countries like the Philippines find themselves increasingly isolated on the world stage. These shifting alliances are challenging the long-held idea of a unified international order. For smaller nations, the stakes are higher than ever. The South China Sea, once a regional flashpoint, has now become a global chessboard where every move is watched and every decision could tip the balance of power. The alliances and rivalries being forged today will not only shape tomorrow's conflicts, but also determine the future world order for generations to come. The question remains, how will these evolving alliances ultimately shape the destiny of the South China Sea, and what will it mean for the world at large?